Great seeing my next guest back in action. UFC 297, January 20th. It is Jan Blachowicz back here on the program. Jan, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Well, always good when we're talking because it usually means you have a fight booked. You're getting a rematch Rakic. Before we talk about that, though, I wanted to get your comments on Alex Pereira, your former opponent, beating Jiri Prochazka. Just first, your thoughts on his performance because you fought, obviously, Pereira in your last fight.
Yeah, great performance, great win. But anyway, I'm angry because that should to be my fight, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I was in that moment when I saw the results. I wasn't, surprised about the results, but I was surprised what he say about after the fight. Then he called out easy again, you know. I said, no, I can't believe it. One more time, come on, give me a break, you know. You've got some business to do with me here because I believe that I won our fight. So first of all, me, and after that you can do what you want to do. That's why I was so angry. But anyway, great performance, great win. He is a double champ, so congratulations to him.
Well, I thought it was cool. Like, we don't usually see you tweet after a fight like this. That's usually Conor McGregor doing that. But I know you called his call out of Israel Adesanya pathetic. It certainly got people talking. I got to know, were the Alex Pereira fans after you in your mentions? Because I know they can be pretty passionate.
Well, I don't care, you know. On the end, I'm also human, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I can let it go when we're talking about, I don't know, video game, but not about, title shot, you know. That's why I was angry, you know, because like I told you, I believe that I won against him and that should to be my fight, you know. That's why I was so angry, you know, in this moment, you know.
Well, I think it was the understanding.
I'm nice. I'm very nice people, but sometimes I
Yeah,
I also could be mad on something, so it's normal.
Sure. For sure. I think part of the reason he called out Adesanya, though, was I think he thought Jamahal Hill was not going to get the next shot, so he was just kind of picking a name, and there wasn't really anyone. Yeah.
Anyway, he got something, to finish with me, because he will say that he won the fight, but for me, he not won this fight against me.
It does look like Jamahal Hill will be next for him. We don't know when Jamal's going to be back after that injury. Who do you see winning that fight if they do end up competing against each other?
We will see how he's gonna feel after the injury, you know, because sometimes it's hard to coming back, you know, in great shape. You still got something in your head, on the back of your head, that you have surgery and you coming back. You don't know how your leg gonna feel. So I don't know. In this moment, I will put my mind on Pereira.
Okay, there we go. Just quickly, because you mentioned that card with Pereira, in the co-main event of that card at UFC 295, we had Tom Aspinall knocking out Sergei Pavlovich. What did you think of his performance to win the interim title?
Great performance. I think that he's gonna win, but not so, in not that way, you know. But that was very impressive. Congratulations to him, new champ. Amazing performance. Great. I would like to see him against John Jones, you know.
Do you think that fight happens? Like, some people feel like when John fights Stipe, that's it, he's going to retire.
We will see, but I would prefer to watch Aspinall against John Jones than John Jones against Stipe.
I think we all would. I think we're excited for that. I'm going to call it right now. I don't think he fights John Jones. I don't think that happens because I just think that John's. I think he's just going to. I think it's very strategic. He's fighting Stipe and then retiring after that. Don't you think?
You never know what John Jones gonna do. You know.
That's true. Yeah. For sure. We'll see what happens.
I never know what's going to happen.
Back to you. Aside from Rakic, were there any other opponents in the mix? Because we talked, I think, a month ago, and I know there was some talk about you maybe fighting Anthony Smith. Like, were there any other opponents offered you?
You know, I'm thinking about different opponents, but when I, start thinking deeply, so I say, okay, everybody who is higher than me in ranking, they've got fights or they are after the fight, so they don't give me anybody who is higher than me. So Rakic is only one option for this moment, you know, because I'm number 4, he's number 5. So this fight, it's the best for me in this moment. So maybe I think a little bit about Anthony Smith, but in the end, okay, I say no, this fight will be better for me. And and we got this fight like this was easy decision.
Are you happy to get this fight? Because it did. I know you have a win over him, but it did end sort of with the injury. Like, are you kind of happy to just put a stamp on this and there can be no questions asked anymore?
This is how I think about this. You know, I beat him one more time. I break him again, and that's it. You know, and I just shut the people out, and that's it. You know, and we'll see what's gonna be next. Now I focus only about him, but I think this is a good fight for me for this moment.
How much do you think the layoff will affect him? You fought a couple times since you two have competed against each other. He has not, right? The last fight was against you. Do you think that will be a factor in the fight?
For sure, will be this will be work for me. 2 years break almost. He coming back after injury, so we will see. But I'm gonna be ready for best version of Rakic, and of course he will be very motivated because he want to prove that that this time it will be different result. So I have to be ready for best Rakic. But I never lost the rematch, and this time will be same shit.
For sure. Did you know much about Toronto before you took this fight? Obviously, going to Canada. You fought in Canada before in Winnipeg, I remember, but I don't know. I'm assuming you've never been to Toronto.
I was in Toronto, but like a cornerman,
Oh, okay.
With my friend long time ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I was, yeah. My friend, he have a debut in UFC over there, so I was with him like a cornerman. So
which fight was this?
The name, he is not fighting in UFC anymore. Daniel Omilanchuk. He was heavyweight.
Oh, yeah. I remember him. Yeah.
I don't remember. He fight against. I don't remember the name of this guy, but he knocked him out in third round.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of Polish people over there. A lot of Polish fans will be there, so I'm happy that I can go there and fight over there.
Have you had a lot of Polish fans reach out to you on social media? That because like you mentioned, there's a pretty big Polish community there.
Not only Polish fans, a lot of people who just live there in Toronto. Who gonna be there, send me a lot of nice messages. Not only nice because fans. Rakic sent me.
Right, for sure. Yeah, Rakic is bringing some fans over too. Probably not going to be too happy. Do you know when you're going to be in Toronto? Like, are you going to get there a bit early? I talked to Dracus du Plessis last week, and I know he's getting there really early. How long do you have your itinerary yet?
2.5 weeks before fight. Like always.
Oh, nice. Okay.
When I go south. This is like the sea level is very low, so only time zone is different. But anyway, 2.5 weeks will be enough for me to use to the climate. I hope so.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it'll be fine. And what about your corner? Like, do you know who will be coming and making the trip with you?
Yeah, same people like against Pereira, But this time my stand-up coach, because he cannot be with Pereira when I fight against Pereira, he cannot be with me because he have injury. He broke his leg, cannot come. So, but now he can go, so he's gonna be there with me. So same people like Pereira, plus not head coach but stand-up coach.
How do you see this fight playing out? How do you see it going down on January 20th?
I think similar like our first fight, but this time I just knock him out. Clear KO. Nothing to say. Nothing to do anymore. Nothing to. He gonna have nothing to say after this winning.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I remember last time we spoke, you talked about the cardio because you and Pereira had to fight at elevation, obviously, and you're not going to have to worry about that here. Did you ever figure out why your cardio? Because you told me even going into the fight that you were training elevation. Did you ever figure out why you slowed down in that fight? Do you think it just was the elevation, or?
I don't think so. That was elevation because I also I was there 2.5 weeks before fight, so I used to the elevation. I fight in the bigger elevation also. Before this fight, so I know what goes wrong. I will not tell you because people will start talking that I explain myself. I don't want to do it. We changed a little bit in our preparation right now, so this time I hope so nothing like this is gonna happen.
There you go. Your division's a bit interesting right now because obviously we have Pereira as the champ. We have Jamahal Hill sort of we're imagining is going to be next for him. And then you've got this Magomed Ankalaev Johnny Walker situation. Does a win here, especially a finish, could that maybe slide you in there? Because depending on the timing, you never know how these things work. Look at Jamahal getting to fight Glover Teixeira. That wasn't something we expected, right?
Yeah. If Pereira will fight against Jamahal Hill and he's going to win, and I believe that I'm going to win against Rakic. So this rematch is like, they have to give it to me because our fight was, split decision.
Yeah.
And I believe the referee, give bad decision. So they have to give me this rematch, So I believe if everything will be perfect, my next fight will be against Pereira.
What
If
about?
not Pereira, I think maybe they will. The UFC maybe they will make some very big event here in Europe, and they give me Jiri Prochazka. That will be
Oh,
also
okay.
something good.
That's a fight that would interest you, is fighting Yuri.
Yeah, with him also. We are neighborhood, so they will be very good for the fans here in Europe.
How do you think stylistically you match up against Yuri? Because he's got a bit of a wild style.
He got white style, but this style working very good. But anyway, he got a lot of holes. So if you used to do this style, you can knock him out. Pereira show it.
Yeah. No, he certainly looked good in that fight. Would you be open to being? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The hardest part for a fight against someone like Iri is find to sparring partner who will gonna have similar style to him.
Yeah. No, it's
This is the
true.
hard
It's true.
part.
Yeah. No.
But if you find someone who gonna do things like Iri do, that's gonna be easy fight
Now, not
because you're
looking.
gonna use weird techniques.
Not looking past January 20th, but would you be open to being a backup for if Yuri and Jamahal Hill fought? Would you want to be a backup fighter, or would you want to just actually have a fight?
I can be backup fighter, no
Yeah.
problem. Also, you just sit over there waiting, watch the fight, and they give you some money. So why not?
There we go. Speaking of money, did you see that PFL just bought Bellator today? It's official.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to merge the two.
So I don't check internet today, so I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
So it's nice news.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I wonder if, it sounds like the fighters are a good chunk of their good fighters will go over to PFL and they're going to kind of make it as one entity, which I guess, for everyone is better because it creates more competition, right? Which is only good for you guys. It'll drive everything else up, right?
We'll see what's going to happen in future, how it's going to look.
Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting. Another change the UFC's had, USADA's leaving. What was your reaction to hearing that? And what was your overall experience with USADA?
I like USADA because, it's hard to cheating when you've got USADA, I don't like to cheating. I never use anything. So I don't want to, so somebody use something, So for me, USADA sometimes was annoying when they knock to your door at 6 a.m. in the morning. So that was something what I don't like, but this is part of the job. So we'll see how it's going to look in future. They sent us some emails that nothing gonna change. There will be just different, different organization who gonna check us.
Yeah,
That's
should be
gonna
interesting.
But how it's gonna look, I don't know. No idea.
What did you think of Islam Makhachev knocking out Alex Volkanovski? About a month ago now. Pretty incredible to be the first fighter to finish Volkanovski.
Always have to be someone who knock you out, and Islam did it. Great performance. I think Volkanovski doesn't expect that he will be so good in stand-up this time, and he was. So yes, great performance.
Do you think he should be, like, right now they put him as the pound for pound #1 fighter? Do you think that's fair just with his performances?
I think so. Yes, he beat everybody. John Jones, he don't fight. He is everybody waiting for him. So yeah, I think it's fair.
What did you think? I'm sure you saw the replay. Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury, him knocking Fury down. I think that was pretty surprising.
Yeah, that was surprise. That was amazing. Ngannou showed that the MMA is like the king of the combat sports. He have his debut in boxing and he beat heavyweight champion. Almost was like only this.
Yeah.
Maybe two more punches and he will be the heavyweight champion. So the great performance from Ngannou, and I was I watch it, I cannot believe, because also I think that's gonna be like 3, maybe 4 rounds and will be over, and the Fury will be, celebrate his winning. But he surprised everybody. So
he looked great.
I'm happy that he fights so good.
Do you think he'll ever fight in MMA again? I think right now with what he's done in boxing, he could probably just box the rest of his career and keep making that money, right?
I think so. Yeah, he will stay in boxing and do more good fights over there, make more money. And that's it, I will do on his place same thing.
One thing we talked about, I think, in our last interview, I know you and Sean Strickland had like a back and forth. This was like a while ago, but now you're on the same card as him. Have you thought about seeing him during fight week? Like, I don't think there'll be anything bad, but I just think it's interesting you guys are on the same card now.
We will see what he if he will talk shit. I will. If not, I will not say anything. I've got my business to do against Rakic, not against him this time.
Right. Do you think some of his stuff's funny though? Like some of his stuff, you have to admit, I think he does get a bit of a chuckle. He might not be educated on things like you said, but he certainly can make people laugh.
Yeah, but if he want, I can learn him his story a little bit more. If he want, no problem.
Would you talk to him if you saw him at Fight Week? Would you bring like a book out and say, hey, this is the history, and like teach him some stuff, or no?
I need to find good historic book, but in English version,
Right.
Yeah, because I can give him Polish version of historic book, but I think he not understand Polish language, so
For sure.
I make research about historic books and give it to him.
There you go. I look forward to seeing that. Just my last question. We always do this every interview. How's your Garmin watch? How are your sleep scores? My sleep scores have not been very good lately. I don't know why. I'm a little under the weather, as you can hear. So how's all yours going?
It depends, but most likely it's 89, 85.
Those are good
92.
scores.
So very good scores, yes.
I'm just looking right now. Last night I got an 83, which is okay, but I haven't gotten the 90s in a while. So
I told you my record was 98.
That's amazing. Yeah, you must have been out for hours. So
yesterday was 90, 97, something like this. 87, sorry, 87.
Okay, there we go. Jan, thanks so much for doing this. We're looking forward to it. UFC 297, Toronto, January 20th. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
Like always, I want to thank fans all over the world for supporting me. Thank you. Keep fingers crossed in my, wish me luck in my next fight.